Kanui te mihi kia koutou, ko Hikitia Ropata ahau, he uri mokopuna ahau, ki Ngāti Tōrangatira Te Aotearoa, Ngāti Rauka, Ngāti Porou. I'm here today as the chair of the Aotearoa Toa Hauora Partnership Board representing Ngāti Toa and Te Aotearoa, whose tides stretch across the tidal currents of Porirua, Kapiti, Te Awa Kairangi and Pōneke. Importantly, where Parliament stands today is on the whenua of the very iwi I represent. I want to begin with some words from my great-great-grandfather, Wi Parata, like you all, a parliamentarian, albeit in the 1800s, and famous for the Parata versus the Bishop of Wellington case. He said, "Whakarongo mai ki te tae e pāpaki ana. Listen to the sound of the crashing waves." The sentiment behind this is about the importance of listening to the kōrero of the tides and the voices of our people. Our IMPB believe now is the time for us all to be listening. Let me paint two pictures for you that demonstrate the realities that different communities face across our region of over 463,000 residents. In one community, families have no vape shops on their walk to school. There is just one bottle store and GP clinics that are enrolling new patients. The median household income there is 198,000, fewer than 8% of the residents are Māori. Most people are aged over 30 and more people own their homes. This is a decile 10 neighbourhood. In another community, there are multiple vape shops near bus stops to schools, 3 bottle stores, dairies selling alcohol, and the local medical centre is close to new enrolments. The nearest GP is a 90-minute walk away. More people rent there than own. The median household income there is just $81,000. 1 in 3 residents are Māori, and there are many more children and rangatahi under the age of 21. Almost 50% of those houses here are cold, damp, and mouldy. This is a decile 1 neighbourhood. These two scenarios are 20 minutes drive away from each other, and the realities facing families in these two communities may as well be another world away. These differences don't happen by accident. They are the outcome of public policy and service planning decisions made at the centre in Wellington across health and other sectors. These broader determinants of health shape whether our tamariki will get a head start or whether they'll be pushing against headwinds, sometimes for generations. And these contrasts are not unique to our rohe. You can see communities like this all across Aotearoa. Why this bill matters is because low-cost GP services mean very little to a whānau who can't get into those services. A whānau living in a damp rental, with parents doing 2 jobs without transport, trying to cover prescription costs as well as increased costs of putting food on the table. Meanwhile, a whānau in a warm home located close to a GP with flexibility and disposable income get far more benefit from the same access. Iwi are not an extra layer of bureaucracy. We are strategic partners who sit closest to those families with highest need. IMPBs bring local knowledge and data and relationships, lived experience, and the solutions from our people to deliver better health outcomes, not just for Māori, but for everyone in our community. As we know, our kaupapa Māori services, they attract huge numbers of non-Māori too. Unlike a private provider, or to be honest, even a government department, our iwi still will be here in 200 years' time, caring for our people and all those who call our rohe home. Our opposition to this bill is clear. However, to start with the positive, we do support its intent to improve the effectiveness of health services, noting Māori make up at least 20% of patients. We also strongly support retaining equity and eliminating Māori health disparities in the purpose statement. But beyond that, we believe too many provisions in this bill are regressive and undermine its very aim. If enacted, they will worsen outcomes for Māori and other population groups and cost every taxpayer more in the long run. Our written submission details these concerns and constructive recommendations. Today, I'll highlight 4 key points. The number 1, Make health sector accountable for equity. The bill lacks requirements for the sector to set out and report on what they are doing to achieve equity. In other words, it has no teeth. We recommend requiring the New Zealand Health Plan and other health reports to set out and track what equity improvements are being made and what is planned next. What gets monitored can get changed. 2, retain IMPB's statutory purpose and functions. IMPBs must remain strategic partners to help you, not reduced to advisory only. Our current mandate is a practical reflection of the Crown Tiriti relationship to co-design systems and lift outcomes and make people's lives better. Removing this mandate breaches treaty rights and it returns us to failed centralised systems that will cause more Māori suffering and premature deaths, many from conditions that are completely preventable in a well-functioning health system. We ask that you be on the right side of history for the sake of our tamariki and our mokopuna. 3, strengthen HMAC's accountability to iwi Māori. We support their statutory purpose, but it must also be accountable to iwi Māori given its influence on the Minister and Health New Zealand Board. In our written submission, we've suggested practical mechanisms for that accountability, but enable some representation from iwi Māori partnership boards on the HMAC. Number 4, strengthen cross-sector accountability, and I can't say this long or hard enough. Strengthen cross-sector accountability. As my example of the 2 communities shows, health problems cannot be fixed by the health sector alone. What is the point of reducing wait times at ED for a young child with pneumonia if that same child is going back to a cold, damp home when they are discharged? The bill should mandate government agencies to work together and to partner with iwi Māori partnership boards to address the wider determinants of health. For example, housing, education, income, transport, and our natural environment. We need to leverage the skills and resources of all sectors for the health and well-being of our communities. In closing, Mr. Chair, Madam Chair, we have significant concerns with this bill. We urge Select Committee to retain and build the positive gains made under the current legislation. We do not want to return to failed, and neither do you, one-size-fits-all models that serve no one well. I want to conclude with the words of another tūpuna, Te Whiti o Rongo mai. Manaki te ara te iwi, te rahi, te katoa. Care for the people, the small, the great, all of us. Ngā mihi nui, I'm happy to answer any pātai you may have.